Coming to you from the former United States of America, deep in the heart of Texas, it's Alex Jones.
I want to cover this in a short segment, come back, take calls, get more into the big studies since they're printing them off for me. You can just search engine the studies, unvaccinated children healthier than unvaccinated, and also the Boston Herald you mentioned saying hang people that don't take vaccines. They keep saying if we don't take vaccines, it makes them get sick. Well, wait a minute. You took it. It should be protecting you. Plus, they just had a bunch of illegals come in that had measles, mumps, rubella outbreaks. Then they say, oh, we're unvaccinated. That's the problem. There's no end. But here it is. Talking about walking on the fight inside of me. This is New Yorker magazine, same globalist elite mouthpiece that just came out 2 weeks ago and said there's a move to overthrow Trump in Congress and inside his own administration. It's an image of a Minuteman, George Washington, standing on top chains and skulls everywhere, and that America basically rules a world of death. And it says, we could have been Canada. Was the American Revolution such a good idea? This is globalism. The very people running down Trump saying he's a Russian agent with no proof are really the globalist agents, the corporate agents that are trying to kill national sovereignty. Kit Daniels wrote a story about it at Infowars.com. Globalist Mag claims American Revolution was a mistake. Anti-Trump Mag says America should have been more like Canada. Yeah, I guess a British protectorate, a British possession. So again, look, you got free speech, but they want to overthrow the country, our rights. More and more they say they want to kill patriots. It's all over the news, professors saying kill Trump. And at a certain point, I'm like, listen here. I had some guy last night. I'm down a hotel lobby wing to do a live feed with Stone. We were eating dinner with my parents. We ducked out to do a live feed with Buckley and Harrison on Periscope on Facebook. And I'm like 60 yards down a hallway by banquet halls. There's no one there. And I hear, you're a traitor, and Trump's a traitor. And I said, well, come here. Videos on Infowars.com. McMaster's fingers is leak in fake Washington Post Russian story. And as soon as I got over there, you know, the guy didn't want to run his mouth anymore. But he said, well, my grandfather fought the Nazis. So see, now I'm a Nazi. And so then he sits there and runs his mouth some more at me. And he says, well, hey, how's your wife? Well, I've been married in 3 years. I'm remarried. My wife's doing great. My family's doing great. My kids are doing great. Fixed them all breakfast this morning. So the stuff you see in the media is fake news. It's all fake. None of it's even true, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the world and the reality that we live in. Maybe I'll play that later if we have some time. But he wants to run his mouth that I'm a traitor. And then when I try to get in his face, he tries to act like, what's my problem? Kind of like that lady that told the one guy in New Orleans she wants to kill me. Then he said, well, how dare you? And she said, what's the big deal? I just want him dead. They are on their own world.
Yeah, it's the things that we deal with every single day. But, you know, it takes a lot of determination, a lot of focus. And when you know in your heart that you're good and that you really want to help people, and it really is all about people making the right decisions, especially when it comes to their health. I mean, as long as, you know, and we fight every single day to get these chemicals and all this stuff taken out of the food and the water and the air, but really it's make the right choices in your life, eat organic food, buy organic cosmetics, stuff around your house, avoid the fragrances,
don't smoke cigarettes. You're so racist. You are so racist.
Reduce the amount of toxins coming into your body. And look,
no, you're a crackpot. You're a crackpot.
All you have to do
no, heavy metals are good. Heavy metals are good. Liar, pants on fire.
Get the mercury out of your teeth too. No, just drink water and sweat. I mean,
we'll be right back, folks, with your phone calls. Stay with us. Just stop the right, okay? Dr. Edward Groot, one of my good friends, is here with us today in studio. We're about to go right to your phone calls. Carlos, Sam, Tim, Mary Lou, Maria, and others. Your calls are coming up here in just a few minutes. Covering the waterfront. Russia calls Washington Post report on Trump intel sharing utter nonsense. Kremlin forewarned U.S. media was spinning hit piece about meeting. They don't want Trump meeting with Russians, even though he's supposed to meet with everybody from a powerful country. That's why he would have already met with Putin, but he hasn't. He's met with the Chinese president who wasn't elected. Trump is meeting with him, but not with the Russian president who was. So they've already paralyzed Trump to a great extent. And then the Washington Post put out that a source said he gave them secret intel about ISIS planning to put bombs disguised as batteries in laptops. And I heard that yesterday at like 5:30, and I went, that's been all over the news for months. That's the intel out of the Yemen raid. Trump put that out to warn people. He's the president. He's allowed to. They think we're so stupid they did that. By the way, crew, I've been busy during the breaks. I really want to print. Will you guys do that for me? Just the headline, studies show unvaccinated children healthier. We covered it all last week, but I just want to get those because I was going to cover those now and I forgot to. And then also the one out of the Boston Herald saying, hang people that don't take vaccines. That was the headline, right? I saw that last week. I want to show that to folks. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour now. But we're going to make a big deal out of that. We're going to do that one way or the other. And I got some clips I want to play. But Dr. Group, but I actually want to print it. Yeah, there it is. Editorial, preying on parents' fears. And then it goes through some of that. But let's just print all those off for me, if you can do that, please. But again, looking at the situation with Russia, it's so ridiculous. And it never ends. And the people doing it have been caught lying. So we're sitting here with like this zombie media. They're dead. No one really believes them. But they can still run these giant hoaxes in an attempt to overthrow Trump. Why are they so mad at Trump?
I mean, to me, it's hard to understand why people are still watching the nonsense out there, because you can find the truth if you look for it online and you search for it. This whole collusion with the Russians and all this other stuff that's been going on, it's just like a full-blown attack that's happening on Trump right now. And hopefully, you know, I have to say that I am a little bit discouraged with the EPA basically releasing and approving all these toxic, harmful chemicals. One of the things that I was writing to the new administration about was, look, guys, we have to get rid of the FDA is all ex-Monsanto pharmaceutical company heads that are running the government. It's all lobbyists. It's all big industry that's in government. And this is one of the reasons I was so excited that Trump was going to come in and possibly drain the swamp. Doesn't matter if it's Trump or anybody else in government. At least they're not part of the whole globalist agenda. And hopefully we can get rid of all of these industry leaders and all these post-industry people that are running the EPA, that are running the FDA, that are approving all of these chemicals and all these toxins that are causing us to become sick and ill, so the pharmaceutical company can profit, and so that everybody walks around with a mind that's easily manipulated. I mean, if you look at, you ask yourself the question, why are these people, why do people believe in all this stuff that's going on? I mean, why aren't people doing their own research? Why are they believing everything that they hear on CNN? A lot of it has to do with the way that they've been manipulated through commercials and through media and through pharmaceuticals and through the fluoride in the water and the chlorine and the vaccinations and the flu shots and the fear that they're under. I mean, we're dealing with a society right now that is under a tremendous amount of stress, and stress will reduce your immune system automatically by 50%. We're dealing with a society right now who is extremely toxic. We're seeing cancer, the epidemic rise. We're seeing microbes rise. We're seeing the soil of the earth that's being degraded. And as a matter of fact, Monsanto just got approval the other day for a new chemical called Strike technology, which attacks the roots, the nematodes on the roots of plants. So when you look at what's really going on with the soil being poisoned, the plants being poisoned, they're trying to shut down organic farming a lot of places. They're trying to force contamination in organic farms. You look at the water supply, clean it up, and now you're starting to see mass lawsuits on that. You're starting to see mass lawsuits on vaccinations. You're starting to see mass lawsuits against Monsanto for causing cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and denying it for years and years and years. Those are all great things, and I don't like to just come up here and report all the negative news, because we have a lot of positive things that are happening in the world today. People are taking responsibility for their own health. They are getting online and realizing and looking around their house and knowing and educating themselves on volatile organic compounds. some of the most dangerous chemicals in people's homes that we're looking at right now are dryer sheets, believe it or not. You have these homes that are so close together, and you have kids that are outside playing that are getting extremely ill, and they're getting these high levels of volatile organic compounds, and they're finding out that it's from the dryer sheets that the house next door is using. That's
right, and let's expand on all this. Let's expand on all this. This is hurting the elites, too. But we've just been so eased into this toxic environment, we don't care. We just accept it. We've adapted to our environment killing us. I'm about to go to some phone calls here.
Well, no, the elites are getting ozone injections every week. I know people that do the ozone injections on the elites, and they fly them in their private jets. And once a week,
beyond that, they've got a bunch of clinics in Austin. People are doing it now.
So
the Nouveau Riche are doing it. The ozone, the glutathione. They've got these other things they're doing that detoxify.
Oh, and listen to this. Believe it or not, the elites are actually taking your products, and they don't want to admit it, but I've heard through the grapevine that they're doing the detoxification methods, and they know that what we have out here is working.
Well, we do have the best iodine X, too, and we do have the best Shieldology system, Z-Shield, now at InfoWarsStore.com.
And they are taking the iodine, and they are doing the detoxification, and they are healing their gut, because they're not stupid. They know what to do.
Now, wait a minute. Probiotics are made up. They've had newspapers say so. We're liars. We shouldn't sell a high-quality probiotic and fund our operation in the face of all these attacks. Now, I want to go to Carlos, Sam, Tim, Mary, Maria, and others here with Dr. Group on any subject you want to raise. A lot of them have questions for Dr. Group. A lot of them talk about Trump. But I'll say this, yeah, Trump could do more at the EPA. He's trying to actually just get the jobs to come back. But the point is that he's not perfect. It's that he's an American president, and the globalists don't like that because he's actually making the decisions, and he knows common sense can get to people, just like he set up this commission with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. heading it up, exposing the vaccines.
No, I think he's doing a great job. I mean, he's got a million things on his list, and he's got so many people that have already been in office under the
Well, sure. Why do you think, you're a smart guy, Dr. Group, why are they wanting to take him out so bad?
Because he's going against everything that they've been trying to put in action for years and years. Think about the billions of dollars from the industries, from the pharmaceutical companies, from the oil and gas industries, all of the deep-seated anti-free speech, all of the exposure that's going to be coming out with pedophilia, with all the other stuff that's been going on for years and years. They're scared because they're scared that the truth is finally going to be in the mainstream, and they're losing control of the president, which is normally just a puppet that's been in place for years and years and years, that they're telling what to do. So that's why I think they're so scared.
That's right. And look at this article. Boston Herald says people should be hanged to death for vaccine choice. You can pull that up. They're getting desperate because they know we're reaching the tipping point where people are waking up. And then I pulled up the articles. Pattern, premature birth, vaccination, and neurological development disorders, a cross-section study of 6 to 12-year-old vaccinated and unvaccinated children. And it's all coming out. It's all coming out how the Prozac causes bleeding on the brain, the Luvox, all of it. How the soft drinks that are sugar-free with aspartame make you fatter and give you brain damage. This is all mainstream studies now. Everything we told you, because it's always been in mainstream studies. It's just now people don't trust MSM, so MSM's having to report some of the truth. Rob Dew, break it down.
Well, Alex, here's the interesting thing. After those studies came out, within 48 hours, they were pulled by open access text. They were being pressured by the vaccine industry, from what my sources are telling me. If you go to the article, Bombshell Study Proves Unvaccinated Children Are Healthier, we have a breakdown of those studies. And then also at the bottom, we have one of the archive links. They've already pulled down another one that was archived because we had people went on and archived these studies. But basically what it showed was that there was a 6.6-fold increase in neurodevelopmental disorders between vaccinated children and unvaccinated children.
So those are major studies being pulled off the study sites because it's scaring them so bad.
Exactly.
Here it is. We'll put it on screen. Here's the article.
So that's what's really disturbing about this, because that's why people, they couldn't find them. I got your text saying, hey, we need these studies. I had actually printed them out because I knew this is the kind of stuff they'd taken studies down like this before. They don't want people to see this information that vaccinated children are unhealthier than unvaccinated children. They want to shield this from everybody, because if people start learning this truth, they won't get their kids vaccinated.
We've had nurses on from the preemie wards that's been in the news where the babies all stop breathing when they're ordered to give them the shots.
And they
go and put them on respirators.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's a big game for them. They go, oh, we got to get the intubators ready so we can help the babies breathe after they get their shots. They're giving them these Hep B shots. There's no way these kids can get Hep B as a little baby. It's ridiculous.
They give them the most deadly shot there is.
Yeah.
And notice Hep B is exploding now in the U.S.
You know, and one of the things that's not talked about a lot with the vaccines is the epigenetic gene damaging problems that we're going to see when they're using all these different animal
that's another thing.
genes.
They admit it's jumping into our genetics.
It can go from generation to generation to generation. 3 generations down, you're going to have damages from these vaccinations in this generation, and that goes for the endocrine disrupting chemicals as well. Anything that damages the genes.
We'll be right back. Shame on everybody trying to block this information. It's a fact. We talk to the nurses. Now, your phone calls are coming up. Carlos, Sam, Tim, Mary Lou, Maria, and others at the start of the next segment with Dr. Grip. I promise I'm going bam, bam, bam to your calls. But more fake news we broke over a week ago that Trump's planning a purge, confirmed. More fake news that we confirmed that the police and others believe that Mr. Rich on the DNC was murdered. That's now mainstream news, confirmed. Just hundreds and hundreds of things every month that we first break that are confirmed. We told you that Kimberly Guilfoyle was being considered as the main contender to replace Sean Spicer. We even had the White House call up and tell us we were wrong from a separate source. And I said, well, I think I'll go with our source. It's pretty high up. But who knows? It might be much higher. But Roger Stone, who I guess can talk about some of this now, he's just been in New York, had dinner a few nights ago with Kimberly. He told me they didn't sleep. They had so much fun on the town with her and some of her friends. Roger's known her for many, many years. So Kimberly Guilfoyle says she's talking with Trump administration about press secretary job. Oh, my gosh. So here we are. That is exactly 6 days later, San Jose Mercury News confirming what our sources said. I called Roger up that day and said, have you heard this? He said, yes, that's what I've heard. He is not our source. He did not leak that. We have another source. So there you go. We're right yet again, Roger. Aren't we horrible?
Yeah, it's amazing, Alex. As you know, the president was inclined towards Kimberly Guilfoyle originally when Sean Spicer was selected. It would have been an excellent choice because Guilfoyle is, of course, a Hispanic woman, a very respected attorney, a former prosecutor, a very strong supporter of the president, articulate, skillful, and obviously, she is very attractive on television, and this is the television age. So that was short-circuited originally. Sean Spicer got the job. Now that it's clear that Spicer cannot do the job, Guilfoyle appears to be under consideration again. Now, I'm told that she has signed a new contract with Fox, but there are a number of ways out of that contract if she were to choose to serve the country. This would be an excellent appointment by the president. I did see her in New York. And I can tell you she is open to it. It would be a major drop in income, as you might imagine, but it would also be an opportunity to serve the country.
And to not read off a teleprompter, which she already does, but she's a smart lady, prosecutor, tenacious, defend the republic. We need her. We have to draft her. And as you're saying, obviously the Guilfoyle is considering, is it? I mean, would you say she's 60-44, 60-40 against, 50-50?
My gut, Alex, is that if she were offered the job, she would accept it. This is an exceptional opportunity to serve the country. She is a close friend of Donald and Melania Trump. She has, I think, been more than fair in the coverage at Fox. She's been one of those in the opinion shows who's done a great job of defending the president, which is something that isn't what the press secretary is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, not sitting there throwing him under the bus or hiding in the bushes. And I'll tell you, it'd be a lot easier to watch her give press briefings than Sean Spicer.
No, that's for sure. This is another example, though, Alex, of InfoWars being ahead of the curve in terms of reporting exactly what's happening in the Trump administration.
Well, she also said that Roger Ailes wasn't doing anything.
That's true.
So she's not a dishonorable liar. That's
no, she's been unlike Megyn Kelly, who you spoke to the other day. She has been a defender of Roger Ailes, who really is the person who made her career. Now, recognize she was once married to Gavin Newsom, now the lieutenant governor of California, former mayor of San Francisco, but that does not reflect her politics. She is a very skilled political thinker, but she's a solid conservative.
Absolutely. Well, here we are, breaking news 6-7 days before it's out. No wonder they want to shut us down. We're so horrible, Roger. I think Roger has lost our audio there in the studio. Can you hear me, Roger?
I can now. Say it again, Alex.
No, I'm just saying, they're so upset that we continue to scoop them over and over again.
Well, they're lazy. We're out doing the work. And, of course, because a number of the people in the Trump campaign have great relationships with InfoWars, we do have an inside track in terms of what is going on. So, look, this would be a 10 strike. You get a Hispanic woman who is very respected, who, as a prosecutor, never lost a case, who famously gave her summations without a note. First in her class in law school, first in her class in college, a thoroughbred, like Donald Trump, a thoroughbred. This would be the correct face for the administration rather than Sean Spicer, a man who I guarantee you will never make Mr. Stone's international best dressed list. Not a chance.
Well, I got to tell you, they are really going to have trouble demonizing her on Saturday Night Live. All right, Roger, I know you're going to tape some stuff for the Nightly News. Thank you, my friend. All right, we're coming up, Dr. Group, and I promise, laser beam. We're going right to your phone calls. Carlos is up first, then Maria, Mary, Tim, Sam, and others. Infowars.com is massively censored. Have you spread that link today? I want to thank all of you that have. We'll be right back. If you are a fan in the last 4+ years of X2, our deep earth crystal-based iodine, the good halogen that you die without, just like vitamin C, but they don't tell you that, then you should really try Z-Shield, our new product Dr. Group developed with the Shilajit, with the zeolites, and all these other concentrated herbs to pull out garbage from the body. InfoWarsLife.com, 888-253-3139. We have Donald Trump for president, navy blue shirts at cost. I'm doing this because I want to flood these everywhere to defend free speech, to meet like-minded patriots, to get in the face of bullies, to trigger them. I think I'm going to start putting scarecrows up around town with this on, with hidden cameras, and watch trendies like speed it up or attack it. I'm serious. That's the next video I want to do. So they're $4.95. We even lose money on the XXLs and stuff. Those cost us like $6-7. I think like the XXXXL or something's like $7 for us. But point is, while supplies last, we sold a couple thousand, 3,000 of them yesterday. While supplies last, we have these shirts, but I'm not printing more. These are the latest new designer shirts, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. Okay, thank you for holding. Dr. Group's riding shotgun with me. Let's talk to Carlos in Montreal, Canada. You're on the air.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, sir.
After the news yesterday on the Washington Post leaks, we decided to call a friend together and do a bit of an analysis of the article. We parsed through carefully through the information that was being revealed by the Washington Post. Both the Washington Post and the New York Times, to a very large extent, are suspect for their sources. And I think it goes back to, I mentioned to you before, an article that was published by James Bamford, September 16, 2014, and he dealt with information that was revealed to him by Ed Snowden concerning the NSA giving and channeling information directly without filtering, without any obligation
to the media
to meet standards, to the state of Israel, to Mossad.
Sure, that too. But I mean, the point is that the media, we can get all technical about this. They're saying that we got information about bombs in laptops that's been on the news for 2+ months, 3 months. And so it's just totally made up. And so now they're saying that we got the information from Israel. Well, them too. It doesn't matter. This shows there's enemies all around the president. Go ahead.
Yes, that's right. But you see, the point I wanted to make to you is if you look at the article, there's a great emphasis placed on a Middle East ally that had this information revealed.
Oh, and we did a horrible thing. I know Trump's a Nazi and wants to blow Israel up. And meanwhile, it's the globalists and Obama and Hillary that helped create ISIS and this whole movement, and Trump's the one defeating it. But now Trump's aiding ISIS. That dirty. He's not just with the Russians. He's a dirty ISIS now. Who knew he was an Islamicist? That we should do a graphic of him with like a big beard and say, who knew? You know, he's with them. I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
But there's something that the president can do, and as a builder, he knows what to do. When you have a leak in a faucet in a building, what do? Do you try to fix the leak without turning the water off?
No, you turn the water off.
You turn the water off, and you fix the leak, right? So to a very large extent, he's done this a couple of times by not revealing to certain people information and then finding out that it's leaking. So this is a very good technique, but in technical terms, what the president must do from now on is simply make sure that the information is sealed.
I hear you. I appreciate your call. The Russians are going back to typewriters because the spying's so bad.
Who do you think the new FBI director is going to be?
Well, I knew days ago that the list being circulated by Fox News and stuff, Trump doesn't like any of them. He liked Trey Gowdy some, but that was about it, and Gowdy's off the list. So a certain female judge that's on Fox News is who Trump really likes.
Ooh, yeah, that would be nice.
Imagine he's all these women in there.
He's going to get ridiculed for that now, too.
Yeah, put a bunch of really smart, super good-looking, dark-haired, dark-skinned hotties on there. I think that's the answer. Just put all in charge.
Yeah, I mean...
Anyways, I just can't handle it anymore. It's so crazy. Here's the thing. I want to catch Trump doing something bad, and he's not been perfect, but the enemies he has is how you know he's the good guy. I mean, it's crazy. Look at these headlines up on Infowars.com. If you're a TV viewer, this is powerful. Radio listeners, just go there. History is full of climate change myths that we're used to, just putting up with. And they're used to control human behavior. Here's Time Magazine saying how to survive the coming ice age, 51 things you need to know to make a difference. And here they are a few years later saying, be worried of global warming and those polar bears can't swim. Here's another one. Again, we have New York Magazine saying, globalist mag says American Revolution was a mistake. Don't have it. Get rid of it. Meanwhile, we have all the articles I just mentioned, the Express, AP, Reuters, all in March, all in April. The plan to bomb airplanes with bombs inside laptops. And then that's what Trump was saying. Everybody knows that. ISIS is putting training videos out. So a lot of this is, the news, the intel news when, we have incredible intel. It's unbelievable.
It was on YouTube.
Remember this? I remember reading some statistic, like 45 million pieces of news had been classified over the decades. There'll be an article in, say, the New York Times, and the CIA will say, don't let anybody read that in the CIA. That's classified. So here we go. Report. ISIS can make laptop bombs that evade airport security. So was the New York Post traitors 2 months ago saying that? No, that's what Trump was covering. That's 2 months ago. Here's another one. Trump revealed highly classified information to Russian foreign minister and ambassador. The same publication 3 days ago claimed that they also planted bugs inside with no proof, or that no other media was allowed in.
That they received from the New York Post.
Unbelievable. Meanwhile, the same Washington Post, Britain, the U.S. banned most electronic devices in cabins on flights from several Muslim-majority countries because of the plan by ISIS to put bombs in laptops. March 21st, from the very same Washington Post that, I guess, according to them, revealed highly classified information to Russian foreign minister and ambassador. But see, they think we're dumb. Like Gruber said, have no memory. Meanwhile, did Washington Post publish dubious Russia story to distract from Seth Rich bombshell? And now the police come out. We were told to stand down. Looks like he was murdered talking to WikiLeaks. Shot in the back, nothing stolen. McMaster responds to Washington Post. I was in the room. It didn't happen. The story's fake. Do you think that McMaster could be the leaker to make himself look like a hero? What do you think?
Anything's a possibility.
Well, there weren't many people in the room. It was like 3 or 4 people.
I'm sure it's bugged. I mean, who knows these days?
And then meanwhile, behind the innocent facade of this bookstore, Seth Rich, slain DNC staffer, had contact with WikiLeaks, say multiple sources, including Assange. Assange needs to come fully out with that info. Don't you think that?
I think so, yeah.
Well, the family hired this detective, a former New York police officer, but now they're saying, well, that's not exactly right. Family's private investigator. There is evidence Seth Rich had contact with WikiLeaks prior to death, but now they're backing off that. I wonder why.
Probably because they've been threatened.
That's 2 + 2 = 4.
And that's one day. That's one day.
But that one day, hell, I got like 100 other articles here. Right now, let's go ahead and go to Drumbeat Maria in Pennsylvania. Maria, thank you for calling today.
Hi, Alex. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
Good.
This is the first time I'm calling, so I'm a little bit nervous. Bear with me.
I'm nervous, too, so thank you for joining us.
Well, I want to thank you, Alex, for waiting me for the past going on 7 years. I've learned a lot from you. Actually, my boyfriend and my youngest son, who was in high school, who's now 25 years old, turned me on to you. So I thank you for that and the courage that you have to go out there and actually, stand in front of all these nutty people and confront them and tell them the truth. That takes a lot of courage. So I pray for you.
Well, ma'am, I appreciate you. And, I don't believe in prayer. I depend on it. So thank you so much. And again, it's very, very humbling to have people call in and thank me. I'm going to be honest with you. I fundamentally, at an instinctive level, don't want to be a slave. I fundamentally don't like globalists screwing us over. I know how bad they are. So for me, it's total competition in a good way. But I'm seething wanting to beat them. I want to be on more affiliates. I want to win, but I want to do it our way, telling the truth. And that's why you have the power to make sure we're not defeated together. So just keep spreading the word about Infowars.com, the articles, the videos, all of it. Start your own show. Whatever you do, just keep it up. What do you think about the situation? You have questions for Dr. Group?
I do have a question for Dr. Group. I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer last year.
Wow.
I'm in stage 1, and I'm only 40. I'm going at 46 next month. So I went to have my whole thyroid removed, and I had the radioactive iodine. I was literally radioactive for a week, and I had to be isolated at home. Ever since then, I've had one thing after another, after another, after another. My whole immune system is so out of whack. And I do believe in all, vitamins and, healthy things to take. But at the same time, I have to take hormones that I need to survive with that contain talc. And I know talc produces cancer. So it's like I'm in this circle. And I want to find a good product. And I'm very interested in your line of products that will help me boost up my immune system. And I'm very interested in that new B product that you have.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, the first thing I can say is, you got everything taken care of. So now you can take 2 steps back, and you have to look at what was the root cause of why you got thyroid cancer. And we know, I don't know where you are, what your job is, what you're exposed to every day, how your diet is, what your stress levels are, but all of those things are things that you should look at right now. And we now know for a fact that a study from USC that came out that a 3-day water fast on purified water completely regenerates your immune system. I would start looking at what you can do now to clean your body, detoxify your body, do multiple liver cleanses to get your liver working again. The thing is, cancer never develops if your body is clean. And there's only one way that you could have a clean body and cancer develops, and that's if you're extremely angry and you're under extreme amounts of stress.
Let me ask you this question,
Doc. Everything else.
Let me ask you this question. Why is it, I see it in the statistics, women have so many more thyroid problems now and goiter, and I know, are they more susceptible to fluoride, or what's going on?
Well, it's endocrine-disrupting chemicals. It's the bottom line. They're estrogen-mimicking chemicals with soy, and it affects women a lot more than it does men because women have breasts, and they have ovaries, and they have a reproductive system, and so they're going to be affected more from all these endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Women use a lot more cosmetic products than men do as well, and they use perfumes. Perfumes are one of the most toxic cancer-causing agents known to man because the fragrances don't actually have to be listed on the label, and each fragrance can contain between 12 and 200 toxic chemicals. So I would say it's you want to look at everything that you've been exposed to now and prevent that from happening in the future. And by detoxifying your body, by cleansing, by boosting your immune system with products like DNA Force, Survival Shield X2, making sure that you're not putting all those chemicals and toxins in your body, cleaning up your water, drinking pure water, maybe getting some shower filters and things as well. Look at where you sleep
now, that's
at night.
super kooky. If the water's full of toxins and chemicals, I should drink those. I shouldn't filter those out. We're being so exploitive selling high-quality water filtration systems that we personally use to help fund our operation and to promote free speech and Americana. I am so ashamed of myself right now. I love how these mainstream articles are always like, he sells stuff, he's so shameful. Next up, Prozac ads, CNN. Right. They're selling stuff that makes your brain bleed, kills you. Vaccines they admit are maiming people. Their own insert says it. And then they say, we're bad, selling DNA Force, that's got this admitted super antioxidant bio PQQ and CoQ10. Yeah. We're just selling the known, absolute certified, game-changing, badass stuff.
And by the way, everything that we develop, if you look at the individual herbs in the products, or if you look at something like DNA Force, which one of my favorite products ever, and there's so many people that has completely changed their lives, these are all things that have multiple backed up clinical scientific studies that have been done
on biopeak
for years and years and years. It's not like we're going out to the forest and grabbing a bunch of stuff that we
If you go in elite medical clinics anywhere in Austin or wherever you live and go to these elite clinics that rich people go to, it's all the same stuff we sell, 3-4 times the price, but you get it from a doctor. It's not prescription, but it's from the doctor.
Well, they don't even use nearly as the advanced, you know, you can buy a milk thistle powder from China for $4 a kilogram, or you can buy a certified organic American-made or American-sourced farm for $24 a kilogram, and you're going to see higher active components. And most of the pharmaceuticals out there are just components of herbs that are synthetically manufactured.
That's right. Maria, God bless you. Thank you. We're praying for you. Please pray for us. We're all in this together. Thank you so much. Mary, let's go to Pennsylvania. Another call from Pennsylvania. Mary, thank you for holding. Mary Lou, good old classic American name. Mary Lou, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Hi. Today is my birthday. I'm 48, and the last caller from Pennsylvania, I send my prayers, my love, and my prayers. Real quick, my mother died. She ended up getting cancer, you know, in her early 50s. But you know something? The night on her deathbed, the doctor came in and said to her, she was born with the cancer cells. Not, you know, people need to understand. And the way he explained it was all the bottled plastic bottles and the water and all the food she was eating. But my thing is,
oh, yeah, the doctors know that. It's in all the main lip, and then we trailblaze saying, get bisphenol A out that your dad helped develop as a top chemist, and we're conspiracy theorists, and Daily Beast makes jokes. I mean, how sick are these people?
It's sick because they're hurting everybody by lying to them and telling them that it's okay for them to eat tainted food and drink tainted water.
Mary Lou, I apologize. I interrupted. I'm sorry. No, I'm the one that did it.
To you by now. No, you're good. You're good.
No, I am bad.
My thing is from all the things that I've seen, witnessed, heard, experienced, trying to call companies like Chef Boyardee, asking them where the meat's coming from, you know, changing my complete diet. I stopped taking the sertraline, going through premenopause. I went to the family doctor. I told her, I said, look, I started doing pure iodine, selenium. She got smart with me. She wanted to know where I got it. So I told her I got it from InfoWars. She literally got on your site and on the computer in the office. She did not want to talk to me anymore. She as much so threw me out of the room.
Well, let me just interrupt because this is important. You going back to your mother and the medical doctor admitting, because they tell you, especially with breast cancer, I don't know if that was the cancer, that they admit that these estrogen mimickers literally grow the cancers. It's incontrovertible. We're just stating fact here. But then you bring up some of these medical doctors or other people that will flip out. But you go to Whole Foods and there's selenium being sold. Everyone knows you don't have selenium, you die. It's absolutely connected to people getting cancer. And you're saying she got upset because you told her you were taking selenium?
Correct.
And the X2, yeah.
Iodine was the big one. Iodine was the big one. But here's my question. My question is I have, you know, 3 beautiful granddaughters. Now, they are mandated to have the vaccine.
Hold on, stay there. The break's got to interrupt you. Because if I don't, the network does this thing where they just play the ads later, and it absolutely drives the stations crazy. So I apologize. There are going to be big changes coming soon, station. So I just know that. So stay there, ma'am. I'm going to come right back to Mary Lou. Then we'll go to Larry. We'll go to Sam. We'll go to Tim. And we'll go to Jim. I'm going to hand the baton to the next host coming in. I'm Alex Jones. Stay with us. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central, we've got the Alex Jones Show. I call it InfoWars Live, what we do here on the TV, radio, /internet, side of things. But talking to this lady here, I've read hundreds of mainstream news articles about the glyphosates growing breast cancer. And then I've sat there and had it hit my own family, and I see it up 3,000-4,000%, depending on the type. Pediatric cancer is up 10,000%. That's children's cancers, folks. I mean, this is crazy, but it's always, we want to find a cure. Never, why is it exploding? And this lady brings up going to the doctor or going to the nutritionist, and then they blow up when the U.S. government had iodine added to the salt for decades, and IQs went up 15%. Google it. Roundup gave us cancer as EPA officials Help the company, CNN. At least CNN is finally getting it right in 2017. Yesterday, I've been disposing glyphosate for 20 years, and I would get letters threatening to sue me from Monsanto. You know, I told them, I said, go ahead and do it. Not because I'm some angel. If they knew it was giving people cancer when they tested it, and it was giving rats cancer in the 70s, and they finally got it approved in the 80s, and you're lying and saying you can drink it when it'll kill you, it's wrong. And I just don't understand it. But again, folks, we told you they're trying to hire, you know, the new press secretary. Now it's in the news. We don't make this up. And everybody knows it who's real. But they're trying to shut us down, so please pray for us, and please financially support us, and please get the new Z-Shield that goes great with X2. What else does this go great with from InfoWarsLife.com?
That goes well with anything. I mean, all of the InfoWars Life products are designed to help you achieve the health that you're trying to achieve. I mean, they're all pretty much based on detoxification
and the great part is,
and cleansing.
You're fighting the info war that the enemy's trying to shut down. That totally gets in their face. It's a total act of defiance. I want to thank you all for your support. 25% off out of the gates because I want you to try it. 10% off additionally when you sign up for auto ship. And all orders $50 or more are free shipping. InfoWarsStore.com. Okay, Mary Lou, go ahead and finish your points. Thank you for holding over.
Oh, thank you. Okay, now here's my point and my question. With the Z-Shield, okay, now that is from what I got today, because today's first day I got to see it on your program. Is any of these products actually, can you use them on your children, you know, on smaller children? And the reason why I ask is my oldest granddaughter, when she is mandated to have the vaccine shot, when she comes home, I mean, she is deathly sick for not less than 5 days. Ma'am,
first off, I know the Pennsylvania law, it's gotten more restrictive, like California, but you have objections for religious, conscientious, moral objections. That I think they got rid of one in Pennsylvania. But there's a health department filing. It's not a law, it's a regulation. You can opt out of the vaccines in all 50 states, ma'am.
It's probably her, it's her, how old are the children?
My oldest one is 2.5.
Oh, my God. Ma'am, I've got 4 children. They're incredibly healthy. None of them have ever had a vaccine. The studies are out there. There is no law that your children have to take vaccines, and none of it in their own inserts.
The doctor, I know, but the doctor is saying it's mandated. That's it.
Well, ma'am, you just Google anti-vaccine doctors in Pennsylvania, and you take them somewhere else, and you don't let that bully. I tell you what, I can't do this for every case. You want me to go on an airplane, come up there, talk to that doctor?
Oh, I can take care of it.
Well, all I'm telling you, ma'am, is I know people say, oh, let's give them the vaccines and let's give them something to pull heavy metals out of. I mean, is that where you're going with this?
Well,
Dr. Group, what's your bottom line?
Let me tell you the best thing you can do for your children. I have 2 children of my own. The best thing you can do is protect them from all the chemicals, all the toxins, everything. My children use the Survival Shield. I make sure that their gut is healthy and clean with good
probiotics. Are essential. Yeah, it's up to you, ma'am. Talk to your physician. But it doesn't sound like this one.
And the Z-Shield as well, because they're going to be exposed to some chemicals. So try to just focus on
the point is everything in these products is safe. Everything in them is safe. You don't want to give them too much iodine. Consult your physician. I'm going to come back to her.
Yes,
this is important. Mary Lou, don't stay there. Believe me, I've made these decisions myself in my own life.
GCNlive.com today.